I told her that since she's so difficult to talk to because she's overly sensitive, that perhaps we shouldn't talk at all. She hasn't
Oh,
spoken to me since. Am I the asshole?
there's so much to unpack. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start.
Highly sensitive friends since 2018, we've been sharing our journeys together.
And now we're bringing you along for the ride,
Welcome to Highly Sensitive Friends Talking,
where we chat about all things HSP, from daily life scenarios
to exploring spirituality, personal growth.
and all the aha moments in between.
So grab a cozy drink and settle in.
Because this is your space to feel seen, heard, and inspired.
Let's spend some time together.
Now to have some fun.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna get a bit juicy today. Usually I'm not about gossip, but I love
Well,
this
we're not gonna be
content.
gossiping.
It's not gossiping, but it's like tuning into other people's problems and just being a bit curious and having an opinion.
Yeah, it's
about
putting
it.
our noses where they don't belong is what it is, basically.
Yes.
But at least it's anonymous. I guess we should explain what we're doing.
Yeah, I guess people are getting really curious now that we started talking about this and building it up.
Although they've
So-
seen the title of the video, so
Oh, okay, yeah, well, that's a
Spoiler.
surprise spoil. Today we're going to do an episode on Am I the Asshole? And for those of you who don't know what that is,
yeah.
it's people asking for advice who are in a conflict and want some advice on whether they are the asshole or not.
It's
That's
like a
how I
Reddit
find-
trend, right?
Yes, it's like a Reddit trend where people anonymously share their worries and stories, and people can think whatever they want about it and voice their opinions. So that's what we're going to do today. I can't wait. I'm almost on the edge of my chair.
We'll each pick one for each other, and then there's one that I think we could both talk about because it's very HSP related.
Okay, sure.
So let me just decide which one I'm gonna give you now, since I'm only gonna do one.
It's going to be quite fun though if the one
We pick
that
the same one.
Yeah, so perhaps I should begin. I don't know.
Oh, right, because because you
Because
only have
you're
one.
three.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Am I the asshole for calling my daughter overly sensitive?
Oh, it's not one of the ones I picked.
Okay, for the most part, my daughter and I have a decent relationship. We rarely argue, but she said something the other day that made me angry. Backstory. My daughter, 23, is currently living with me as a result of the pandemic. She used to have a good paying job and was working at a senior level, but then was laid off for obvious economical reasons. It's been a year since she's been employed in a full-time job, but she managed to go back to her old teaching job in our hometown, which is part-time. Once she started teaching again, she realized she was falling out of interest with her old career due to frequent burnouts and a general loss of interest in the industry. And she decided she wanted to finally finish a degree she took in her teen years, but didn't finish as she wanted to major in something else. She wants to complete the degree and start working in the corporate world after she graduates. So she's been making frequent consultations with a career advisor at university, as well as attending workshops to make sure she has a strong chance of landing a job.
So far, so good.
Okay, so the issue.
Yeah, okay.
After attending a seminar, she was ranting to me about how difficult it was to get a job, as a lot of companies wanted people to apply almost 3 years before even starting. And I told her that she should just consider herself lucky that she has me to support her. Otherwise, she would have to study and apply for jobs whilst working at a full-time job. She got mad and said that she wasn't saying that she wasn't thankful and that she was just trying to share how hard it was in this current economic climate. I told her that I find it difficult to talk to her because she's overly sensitive and I have to think before I even speak because I'm
Oh
worried
my
that I hurt
God.
her feelings. She told me that she can only share good things with me because when she shares negative things, I only tell her that other people have it worse. And to be honest, I don't really know what else to say. I told her that since she's so difficult to talk to because she's overly sensitive, that perhaps we shouldn't talk at all. She hasn't
Oh,
spoken to me since. Part of
wait,
me
and they
also
live
thinks-
together? They live together.
Yes, they do live together. Part of me also thinks that she's not been able to find a job because she's too focused on switching careers. If she's stuck with her original one, which she's already invested a lot of time in, then it might be easier for her. I think she's also too comfortable with the fact that I am earning a regular income and can therefore live with me while she takes it easy. Am I the asshole?
There's so much to unpack. Oh my gosh. Also, way to laser in on something that's so unbelievably like it hits home for me. And it's funny because like the one I have for you is also very tailored, so it's really hilarious. But were you gonna say something before I go on to my rant?
It sounds like really bad mother-daughter issues, which I
Yeah.
think a lot of our listeners can relate to, who are
Right.
sensitive and have less sensitive parents. So
Yeah. Well, I'll just say right off the bat, my mom is also a sensitive person, so her and I would not be having this conversation. But
no,
the whole like
thankfully.
job market and like living with a parent and navigating all of the sensitive stuff, whatever. So, okay. Like, I don't even know where to start. So it's also hard when these are long because you think of things as the story's going. But okay, so this is my only disclaimer. Both of them have valid points. The whole discussion of the job market now compared to what it used to be. Yes, the mom is right in the sense that it is a good opportunity for her to be able to support her daughter, and her daughter has her to support her. Like, that is a benefit, right? There are people out there who do not have that. With that said, that's the only point I'm giving to the mom.
I agree.
So the daughter also has very valid points of that the mom cannot understand, having lived different life experiences, like different time periods, right? So like the daughter does have very valid complaints about how difficult the workforce is now, especially like the wanting to apply or needing to apply 3 years before you actually get the job. That's ridiculous. I've never heard that before. But there are so many jobs that are entry level, and then you scroll down and it's 5 years of experience. That's not, that does not congruent.
It's very hard to be a young person starting out in their career right now. So she has valid points.
Well, and also, like, first of all, I think the mom should be supportive of the fact that the daughter is realizing, I'm assuming, and she said she's 23, the daughter, that's very young. Exactly. So it's like she's realizing in an early point in her life that she wants to do a career change, which is a really good thing for her to realize now and to be pursuing and taking action on. And from the beginning part of it, before like the issues came up, it sounds like her daughter's doing a lot of good things. She's going back to school. She's still working the other job while she's doing all of this, it sounded like. I don't think the daughter is being like a lazy, ungrateful, spoiled millennial child sitting on the mom's couch. Like, that's not what I'm getting from this. While the mom has a point that, yes, there are benefits to the situation and that you should be acknowledging or whatever. The daughter wasn't saying she wasn't acknowledging that. The daughter is just trying to connect with her mom, really, by saying things really hard and I have these goals and I want these things and it's challenging for me right now. And from my perspective, I think the mom should be validating her and saying, like, I see you working so hard and you're right. Things do seem like they're really hard in the job market right now. Thank God we have each other right now to be able to support each other in this way. And whatever. The fact that when she says that she's being overly sensitive by her basically invalidating, it never works when someone comes to you about a problem and you say, oh, other people have it worse, or you should stop complaining, you should be grateful. There's no way. I'm sure if the roles were reversed and the mom was complaining about her job or something, and the daughter was like, you should just,
suck it up,
stuff your pie hole, be grateful you even have a full-time job, that kind of crap. I'm sure that would not go well with the mom. The part where she's calling her daughter overly sensitive, of course, is going to be very triggering for anybody listening to this. I'm assuming most of our listeners, if not all of them, are HSPs, because that is who we're trying to connect to with this podcast. The idea of calling someone sensitive for having a very normal reaction and feeling about something that's challenging is just, I just wish that was not something that existed, because it's so unbelievably invalidating.
Yeah.
I kind of went off into like a fuming rage in my mind, like, as you were reading, so I don't really remember the end, but I feel like I remember her saying something, that the mom saying something about her, I can't even like talk to you because you're so sensitive.
Yes, exactly. That they haven't talked since.
That super resonates with me, because I just think that the idea of telling someone that they're difficult when they're asking for like basic compassion and mature communication is just so blood boiling. Like,
it's sad as well, because thinking about the fact that as a child, when you go to your mom, it's supposed to be a safe haven where you can just have all the emotions. And
Right.
when your mom invalidates you like that, where is your safe haven if your mom can't be it, you know?
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is very sad. And I just, especially that like how are they not even talking to each other and they live in the same like they live in the same space. That's very like, well, how is that even working? But yeah, to sum up, yes, mom, you are the asshole
Okay, so
in this scenario.
do you want to hear what Reddit said? Because
Sure.
obviously it was quite a while ago because it was during the pandemic.
Wait,
And
and wait a second. It was also during the pandemic. That makes it even harder to get a job and
yes,
move. Okay, yeah, that's a
yes.
whole other thing. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
okay. So she edited later on and she said, edit, I'm getting the consensus that I am the asshole. Some of the comments here are very helpful. Also, I keep seeing mom in the comments, and I would just like to clarify that I'm her father. I should make a difference, but I'm sort of wondering where the mom came from.
Wait,
That's so funny because
doesn't it?
it was the father, but that's funny. When you're reading it, you immediately assume it's her mom.
Yeah, I assumed that too.
It's so strange.
Okay, so I mean, it shouldn't really change anything because
No,
gender shouldn't
it's
make
the
a difference.
same.
Yeah,
It's
it's
funny.
super triggering. Yeah.
Everybody assumed it was the mother, and that's so strange. But maybe, yeah, I don't know why. It shouldn't change anything. Also, your father should be a safe space to voice your emotions and your frustrations without
Yeah.
having any hardship, you know.
I mean, I was almost going to say it's like more expected if it was the father to say that the daughter's overly sensitive, but that's just coming from my own lens of my own experiences. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I
depending,
think it's really depending on what you have experienced yourself.
right. Yeah. I know I do know some people who have had really wonderful fathers and people and fathers that are more sensitive or whatever, but
Yeah.
oh man, that's bad. Yeah, yeah, let's just go to the next one.
Okay, okay.
I don't know which one of these to choose, to be honest, because I think they're both really relevant. Well, we'll see, because this one's really they're both short, so maybe you
Okay.
could, if we have time, you could do both.
Oh, sure.
You could just give me your thoughts on them both. All right. Okay, so it says, "Am I the asshole for not letting my sister bring her kids to my child-free wedding, even though they're my family, or even though they're family?" Sorry. So, so it says, "I, 30-year-old female, am getting married soon, and my fiance, 32-year-old male, and I decided to have a child-free wedding. We both feel like it's our big day, and we want it to be an adult celebration. My sister, 35 female, has 2 kids, and when I told her about the child-free policy, she was really upset. She said that as family, her kids should be allowed to attend and that it's unfair to exclude them. I explained that it's not personal, but she's been pushing back hard and even threatened to not come if she can't bring them. I'm sticking to the policy, but now there's tension in the family. Am I the asshole for not bending the rules for her kids?"
Oh, interesting. Oh, I think it's so yeah. Oh, it's a really hard one.
Yeah.
You know, looking at myself personally, I couldn't imagine not having my nephews and nieces at my wedding.
Yeah.
But I don't know what her relationship with her nephew and niece is, you know. I don't know
Right.
when they live far away or if they're still very
Right. There's not a lot
small.
of context. Right.
No, there's not a lot of context. So the context really matters here. And I totally get it. When you have your wedding ceremony, it's a very expensive day, first of all. So you should celebrate the day, in my opinion, exactly the way you want it to. And if you want to have like a really calm and peaceful day without children screaming, and that's why you choose a child-free wedding, then I would say she's not the asshole, you know. I think in the end it's her wedding day and she's allowed to decide even if it's her sister. But I can also understand her sister for feeling hurt because it's close family, you know. So
Yeah.
I understand both sides. What do
Yeah.
you
And
think?
I don't know if like as a parent if she'd be less present because her kids aren't there as well. Or maybe she'd be more present. I guess it depends. Depends on what kind of parents they are, you know? Like if having their kids with them would make them enjoy the wedding more because they would be more present because their kids are there, or if having a babysitter and having someone watch their kids would help them be more present. So who knows, you know?
Yeah, I think for the sister who has children, she definitely would be less present, but that's her choice if she wants her children there, you know? I think for me, my sister had her 3 children at our wedding, and I loved having them there. And also my other sister, my sister-in-law also had 2 children there. I think in total we had like 8 kids at our wedding, but I must say the youngest one was 3 and the oldest one was 9. So they were like in that age range, and we didn't have any crying babies. So I can understand that when you have your wedding ceremony.
Right. They also didn't say,
spot,
they didn't say how old the kids were either. So that also kind of is interesting,
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that I understand both. Well, first of all, I think I side with any bride who's just deciding what she wants. Like, I think weddings need to be about the couple and what they want,
Yes,
But
I
I do
agree.
understand, obviously, like the sister being upset. But the thing that gets me is like she's threatening to not come to the wedding because of this.
That's
The
yes,
part
I
that's like,
agree.
really?
Yes, it's very manipulative to do that.
Yes, that is the
Obviously,
word.
you can voice your feelings. I think it's very valid to say, I feel hurt that you don't want your nephew and niece there. But then she would have to say, but I respect your decision and I will find a babysitter. That would be a very
The mature
respectful
thing to do.
response.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure like threatening somebody to not come is easier.
Yeah.
She's not the asshole. What did
Yeah.
Reddit say? On my thread at the top, it said asshole with a red label.
Oh yeah, this one says not the asshole in blue
Yes.
as the
Okay,
label. It's
so
so
we
funny that
agree.
there are labels. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, so the top comment that's like 100 upvotes or 1,000 upvotes says child-free weddings are common and usually never personal. If she can't accept that, she can just not attend.
Yeah, that's very, very
Pretty extreme.
direct.
Okay, so let me give you this other one, and then we'll talk about one at the end that I think we can both weigh in on as an HSP. But this one I also felt like you would be able to talk to. So it says, "Am I the asshole for not refusing to go over my holiday budget? I have a sister-in-law who likes to take over the holidays. Usually I don't care. I just kind of go with the flow. Every year we usually pitch in together and get my husband's parents a gift for Christmas from all of us. This year my sister-in-law pretty much decided their gift on her own and then came to us saying our share was $300. That is a lot of money for us. I love my in-laws, and if I could financially do it, I would buy them anything they wanted. I don't spend that much on my family, even though I would love to. The money just isn't there if we want to eat and pay the bills. I feel so much stress and anxiety this time of year. I dread the holidays now. I also feel guilty for saying no, and needless to say, I'm not very popular right now. My husband thinks it's a bit much as well, but I am the bad guy. What is the appropriate amount for a gift? Am I the asshole? Should I just give in and scrape up the money?"
Oh gosh. I think, first of all, the appropriate amount is whatever you can miss at the end of the month. And whatever you feel you can miss, that you still can cover your own needs and wishes. I think that's the appropriate amount. But the fact that she's spending her money basically, it feels like such a boundary being crossed.
Right.
I would be really upset if my sister-in-law would do that.
Right, because it's like, it sounds like she chose the gift. It wasn't like a discussion. It was like, I've made this decision and you owe me $300. It's like,
yes.
Excuse me?
She's definitely the asshole. If anybody who says anything else is also no.
Right? Yeah. So the person writing it got the like, I'm not the asshole label as well.
She's not the asshole. The person posting it is not the asshole because she was really done wrong in this case. And I can't imagine somebody doing that to me. I think I would just say, okay, good luck giving that gift on your own. I will buy something myself.
Right. Right. Or also like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's almost like the going out to dinner with friends thing where like some friends have more money than the other friends or whatever. And it's like, I hate when people make everyone split the bill if people's incomes are drastically different. So it's like, if that's the case, if the sister-in-law like really wants to get the family this present, but maybe she's got a lot more money to spare, then maybe like portion it by percentage or something, like proportionate to their income. So like, maybe she contributes some, but not as much as the other sister who has more disposable income or something. You know what I mean?
True, I agree. And in the end, something we often tend to forget during the holidays is that it's not about the money we spend, but the thought we put into the gift. And,
and like spending time together, right?
Exactly.
It's like
spending time together and just caring for each other, having good food.
Right. It's like, it doesn't make sense that holiday planning would cause fights. So it's like, this is literally the opposite of what this is supposed to be doing.
Yes, exactly. It's not really Christmas spirity.
Right? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh gosh. I love this episode. We should
I know. This is fun. Yeah. And I tried to find ones that were kind of boundary related because I know that's very relevant for HSPs. And this last one is like a boundary and also a sensory thing. So I'm like, this, we can both, I mean, not that we haven't both been chatting about all of these, but okay. Am I the asshole for asking my roommates not to turn the living room thermostat above 75? So you might want to figure out what 75 Fahrenheit is, or maybe you already know. for you for
let me
Celsius?
just check that out. 75. Okay. For not turning it above?
Yeah.
Just for the European listeners, 75 Fahrenheit is 23.3 Celsius.
Okay.
And
what is a comfortable Celsius for you guys?
For me, but I'm Dutch, and Dutch people are always like very greedy. So we have it at like 19 degrees. Yes.
Wait, really?
19 Celsius. We have.
Oh, no, I thought you said 90 for a second. I was like, no, wow.
19 Celsius. So
can you do it back? What's 19 Fahrenheit?
Yes, 19 Celsius. But that's enough because we have stone houses. So brick houses, I mean. It's like 66 Fahrenheit.
So why were you saying that you're greedy? I don't get that. What do you mean?
Like, that's like the minimum that Dutch people put on just to be saving money when
I see what you're saying. Like you're cheap or something?
Yes, I'm being cheap, but when you put it warmer, then it gets more expensive because you use more gas.
Yes.
And,
it's so also true here. Yeah.
A very greedy Dutch woman. Okay, but that's keep on.
So funny. Okay. No. I wanted to make sure we were like on the same page before we go forward. Okay. So that we both understand what that number means. So I live in a pretty small apartment with 2 roommates. It is very well insulated. So whatever the thermostat is set to, the whole apartment will heat to, with the bedrooms being directly off the living room. They are somehow comfortable at 80 degrees, which I think is like 30 Celsius or something around there, which I find to be sweltering and extremely uncomfortable. Personally, I find 70 to 72 to be fine, but trying to compromise with them, I asked if we could keep the thermostat at 75 max for the aforementioned reason of heating up my bedroom to making it so I can't escape the heat. Oh, too much, I think is what they said. Too much so I can't escape the heat. I can open up the window, but my room cools down to like 60 degrees, and then I have to close it until it gets too hot again, and the cycle through this, which is pretty annoying, going through hourly 20-degree swings. Plus, this makes sleeping a nightmare of waking up in the cold, closing the window, waking up sweating, repeat.
Oh gosh.
Am I the asshole here? Am I just out of touch with normal house temperatures? They also hang out in t-shirts and shorts with no socks on.
Gosh, this is the worst. If you have to consider always having hot, cold, I think for a highly sensitive person, definitely this would be a sensory nightmare.
Right? Especially like not being able to sleep, that just compounds everything,
Yes.
The irritation.
I think that she's not the asshole is it a she?
I don't know what gender the writer is, but
I think the person writing it is not the asshole. I think it's very normal to have a basic temperature in your home, and those who like it hot, they can always buy heated blankets or put on sweaters.
Right. I mean, my thing is like when you're cold, you can put on layers, but when you're hot, you can't take off layers until you get to a certain point and you can't take off layers anymore,
Does it not cost extra as well
it does
warm up?
It does for sure.
It's so expensive.
Well, and that's the other thing. So 75 I think is high. Most people I know keep their thermostat between like 69 and 72. That's what's kind of normal, comfortable for people. So like for right off the bat, I think that this person is totally not out of line, especially because the number that everyone else wants it at seems high. But then the other thing is, the whole thing about them keeping it to a temperature that inconveniences the roommate who wants it colder much more than it would inconvenience the people who want it warmer if it was 75 instead of 80 or whatever she was saying, or he was saying, whoever. Yeah.
But 75 is actually really warm still, I feel.
It is, yeah.
Like even keeping it at like 65, 66 would still be a warm temperature. So I think she already did compromise towards them, and the fact that they're still like nagging her, I feel really bad.
Yeah, right. Like if you're comfortable with 70 or 72 and you're saying 75 max, you're still pushing where you're comfortable. I mean, like, every place I've lived, I've had to find the number because each unit is like kind of different, how the heat circulates or whatever. But I've had to pay attention to the number on the thermostat that my dog will start to pant because I can't, like, she's got a very thick furry coat and it's not healthy for her to be above a certain temperature. So I always keep it the degree amount that makes her comfortable, and the rest of us adjust because she can't take off her coat.
No, exactly. It's a poor puppy,
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm also wondering, in Europe, you are able to turn off the heater in each room. Is that a possibility in the United States?
So it kind of depends. The newer constructions usually they have more control, but that's kind of like a luxury.
It sounds like she doesn't have that option because she has to use the window to cool down.
Well, no, that they were saying there's one thermostat for the whole apartment.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do also have one thermostat for the entire house, but we have one heater in every room, and you can still turn that off, so it isn't turned on in that room.
Oh, interesting.
So we have, when I walk downstairs now in our hallway where the front door is, we have it turned off, and that's colder than when you're upstairs in the bedrooms or in the office.
Interesting. Do you have central air where like the air flows through all the vents in the house, or do you have individual radiators or something?
We have individual radiators, actually.
Okay.
Operated. It's different also, I think, in Europe, because we have water running through them, which is heated. It's like heated water running through. I don't know how it works in the United States, but
yeah, I mean, I know that the radiator technology, but that's usually that's pretty old, I guess. We have air conditioning units in the windows, and then I guess some people still have radiators, but for the most part, especially in newer construction, it's central air where there's a furnace in the basement and there's all the vents in the walls that distribute all the air. So if you set it to one temperature, the whole house is going to adjust to whatever that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, then it's really hard for her, but she cannot close the vent. It would be bad or not.
Yeah, well, it depends. If you start closing too many of them, it starts to back up the heat, and that's dangerous. But she could probably close the vent in her room. But still, I don't know that would make that much of a difference, you know?
Okay, I feel so bad for her. I really hope she moved out. Because
I hope that this person is not an HSP, because that would just suck.
Yes. Oh and I can't imagine how many colds she must have if it's like warm, cold at night.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not being able to sleep is a big deal. She was saying that everyone else hangs out in t-shirts and shorts. They could very easily put on a pair of sweatpants and turn the degrees down 3 or 4 degrees, you know?
Yeah, I agree. But I think also for her, it might be really hard to set a boundary here because it's her against everyone.
Right. It sounds like, I mean, I don't know if there's 3 roommates, two roommates. Yeah. So it's like 2 against 1. So that sucks.
2 against 1 makes it hard. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, nice scenario though.
Right? I was like, that's a very HSP related thing that I think would drive any HSP nuts.
Yes, I really love this type of episode. So I'm sure that we will do more of these Am I the Asshole themes in the future.
And if you have a scenario in the comment, leave us an HSP or boundary or whatever type of thing you want us to pick apart. We'll do it.
Yes. Yes, please do.
Yeah, this was fun.
Discuss it. Okay. Next week, we are going to talk about another exciting topic, so make sure to tune in again and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Would you like us to talk about a specific topic in our podcast? Make sure to comment and we'll keep it in mind for the future.
And if you enjoy what we're doing here, we'd love for you to like and share this episode so that our podcast reaches other HSPs who can enjoy it as well.
While you're already here, don't forget to check out our additional resources for HSPs and empaths.
Anne-Kathrin has her own blog site and has created an online membership for HSPs and empaths with featured experts on relevant personal growth topics every month.
And Tiara has her own YouTube channel and has also built a step-by-step online program for HSPs on the journey to thriving in their health, relationships, and career.
All of our links are in the description. See you on the next episode.
So we each compiled some, right? Did you bring some too?
Because I thought you brought like 3 stories, so I thought that would like fill.
I thought you were gonna bring some for me to talk about, and I was gonna bring some for you to talk about. So you have one?
I only have one. Yeah, I have
okay.
one, but I think like that's going to be enough for us because usually we are very wordy. So I think if
right.
like one, I totally misunderstood you because you were talking about like, are 3 enough? You think so? I was like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I meant 3 enough for me.
Yeah.